Greetings, friends, and welcome. The world is changing. It always has, of course, but today, the pace of change is staggering. Like a runaway train, technology hurtles us forward, reshaping our lives in ways we never imagined. Nowhere is this transformation more profound than in the realm of education. Yes, online schooling, once a niche experiment, has exploded onto the scene, becoming a global phenomenon. It's a digital revolution, shaking the very foundations of traditional education and ushering in a new era of learning. Gone are the limitations of brick-and-mortar classrooms, replaced by the boundless possibilities of the internet. No longer confined by geography, students from every corner of the globe can now access a wealth of knowledge, connect with world-renowned educators, and learn at their own pace. But this shift, my friends, goes far beyond mere convenience. It's about empowerment, about equipping the next generation with the skills they need to thrive in a rapidly evolving world. This is not just about the future of education. It's about the future of work, the future of our global economy, the very future of our society. So join me, dear viewers, as we delve into this exciting new frontier, exploring the transformative power of online schooling and its profound impact on the careers of tomorrow. To understand the present, we must first journey into the past. Education, my friends, is as old as civilization itself. From the ancient Greeks debating philosophy in open forums to the medieval scholars poring over illuminated manuscripts, the thirst for knowledge has always been a defining characteristic of humanity. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century was a watershed moment. Suddenly, knowledge was no longer the exclusive domain of the elite few. Books became more accessible, literacy rates soared, and the seeds of mass education were sown. Fast forward to the 20th century and we see the rise of the industrial age, bringing with it the need for a standardized education system. The factory model emerged with its emphasis on rote learning, rigid schedules, and standardized testing. While this system served its purpose for a time, it's clear that the 21st century demands a different approach. Today, we stand at the cusp of a new era. The digital revolution has ushered in an age of unprecedented access to information and interconnectedness. In this dynamic landscape, the traditional model of education, with its one-size-fits-all approach, is struggling to keep pace. The story of online schooling is inextricably linked to the relentless march of technology. Each breakthrough, from the printing press to the internet, has chipped away at the walls of the traditional classroom, expanding the horizons of learning. The advent of personal computers in the 1980s brought education into our homes for the first time. Educational software, though rudimentary by today's standards, offered a tantalizing glimpse into the possibilities of personalized learning. But it was the birth of the internet in the 1990s that truly revolutionized education. Suddenly, a vast repository of information connecting people and ideas across continents was at our fingertips. Online courses, though initially limited in scope, began to emerge, offering a glimpse into the future of learning. Today, the landscape of online learning is almost unrecognizable from its humble beginnings. From massive open online courses, MOOCs, to sophisticated learning management systems, LMS, the possibilities are endless. Technology has become an indispensable tool, empowering educators to create immersive, engaging, and personalized learning experiences. So, what does the future hold for online schooling? Well, my friends, the possibilities are as limitless as the human imagination. Imagine a world where education is no longer confined to physical classrooms or rigid schedules. Picture students donning virtual reality headsets, stepping into immersive simulations that bring history to life or transport them to the far reaches of the universe. Imagine AI-powered tutors providing personalized feedback, adapting to each student's learning style and pace. Envision classrooms transcending geographical boundaries, connecting students from across continents to collaborate on projects, share ideas, and solve real-world problems together. This is not science fiction, my friends, but a glimpse into the future of online schooling. The online schoolhouse is not just about delivering information, it's about fostering critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and problem-solving skills. The essential skills needed to thrive in our increasingly complex and interconnected world. Shaping tomorrow's careers. The transformative power of online schooling. And what of the impact on tomorrow's careers? The job market, my friends, is in a constant state of flux, driven by rapid technological advancements and evolving industry needs. The skills that are in high demand today may be obsolete tomorrow. This is where online schooling comes into its own. By providing access to cutting-edge knowledge, fostering digital literacy, and promoting self-directed learning, online education equips students with the skills they need to adapt and thrive in this dynamic landscape. The ability to learn new skills quickly, to think critically and creatively, to communicate effectively, and to collaborate across cultures. These are the hallmarks of a successful career in the 21st century, and they are all fostered through online learning. So, my friends, as we stand at the precipice of this exciting new frontier in education, let us embrace the transformative power of online schooling. Let us empower the next generation with the knowledge, skills, and resilience they need to shape their own destinies and build a brighter future for us all. Echoes of the past. Lessons from history's great thinkers. Our history, my friends, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy, innovation and stagnation. It's a rich tapestry, and if we look closely, we can discern patterns, recurring themes that offer valuable lessons for the present and the future. Education, my friends, has always been at the heart of human progress. From the ancient Greeks, who believed in the power of dialogue and debate, to the Renaissance thinkers who challenged dogma and embraced humanism, history's great minds have always understood the transformative power of education. Socrates, with his relentless questioning, challenged his students to think critically and examine their beliefs. Plato, in his Republic, envisioned an ideal society where education was the cornerstone of justice and virtue. These weren't just ivory tower philosophers, my friends. Their ideas resonated in the bustling marketplaces and public forums of their time, shaping the course of Western thought. And let's not forget the Library of Alexandria, a beacon of knowledge in the ancient world, tragically destroyed but not before its legacy of scholarship and intellectual curiosity had spread far and wide. These echoes from the past remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is not a modern invention, but a fundamental human endeavor. The printing press revolution. Democratizing knowledge, igniting change. Now fast forward a few centuries and we arrive at a pivotal moment in human history. The invention of the printing press. Johannes Gutenberg, a German goldsmith with a vision, ushered in an era of unprecedented change. Before Gutenberg, books were a luxury, painstakingly copied by hand, available only to the elite few. Imagine, my friends, a world where knowledge was literally locked away in monasteries and palaces, accessible only to a select few. But Gutenberg's invention changed everything. With movable type and a press, he could produce books faster and cheaper than ever before. Knowledge, once a trickle, now flowed like a mighty river. Literacy rates soared, new ideas spread like wildfire, and the Protestant Reformation, fueled by the mass production of pamphlets and Bibles, challenged the authority of the Catholic Church. The printing press, my friends, democratized knowledge, empowering individuals and igniting a firestorm of intellectual and social change. It was a revolution built not on bloodshed, but on the printed word, a testament to the power of ideas to change the world. The Enlightenment's legacy. Reason, individuality, and the pursuit of progress. Now, the spirit of inquiry unleashed by the printing press found fertile ground in the 18th century, an era we now call the Enlightenment. Thinkers across Europe, fueled by reason and a belief in the power of human progress, dared to challenge the old order. John Locke, in his two treatises of government, argued that all individuals possess natural rights, including the right to life, liberty, and property. These ideas, my friends, were revolutionary. They challenged the divine right of kings and laid the foundation for modern democracy. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his Social Contract, explored the relationship between the individual and society, emphasizing the importance of civic virtue and popular sovereignty. The Enlightenment, my friends, was a time of great intellectual ferment, a time when the seeds of modern thought were sown. It was in the coffee houses and salons of London, Paris, and Edinburgh that ideas were debated, challenged, and refined. The Enlightenment's legacy, my friends, is profound. It's a legacy of reason, of individuality, of a belief in the power of human ingenuity to solve problems and create a better world. The Industrial Revolution's impact. From craftsmanship to mass production, education's evolving role. But as the 18th century gave way to the 19th, a new era dawned. An era that would transform the world in profound ways. The Industrial Revolution, the steam engine, the cotton gin, the power loom. These inventions, my friends, ushered in an age of unprecedented technological innovation. Factories sprang up, cities swelled with workers, and the pace of life accelerated. But this rapid industrialization brought with it new challenges. The factory system, while efficient, often dehumanized work, reducing skilled artisans to cogs in a vast machine. Education, once the domain of the privileged few or the apprenticeship system, was now deemed essential for a workforce that needed to adapt to the demands of the new industrial economy. And yes, my friends, the early days of the Industrial Revolution were marked by exploitation, child labor, and appalling working conditions. But amidst these challenges, a growing movement emerged, a movement advocating for social reform, for workers' rights, and for universal education. The reformers understood that education was not a luxury, but a necessity, the key to unlocking the potential of individuals and creating a more just and equitable society. It was a long and arduous struggle, my friends, but the seeds of change had been sown. The rise of mass education. A global phenomenon, a force for change. The Industrial Revolution, for all its upheavals, set the stage for a profound societal shift, the rise of mass education. As nations industrialized, the demand for a literate and numerate workforce grew, leading to the establishment of public education systems across the globe. From the crowded classrooms of 19th century London to the one-room schoolhouses of the American frontier, the message was clear. Education was no longer a privilege, but a right essential for individual and national progress. This wasn't just an altruistic endeavour, mind you. Governments recognised that an educated citizenry was vital for economic growth, social stability, and democratic participation. And so began a period of unprecedented investment in education, with schools, colleges, and universities springing up across the world. Now, the path to universal education was rarely smooth. There were debates about curriculum, funding, and the role of religion in education. There were struggles for equality, with marginalized communities often denied access to quality education. But despite these challenges, the tide was turning. Education was becoming a powerful force for social mobility, empowering individuals to break free from the shackles of poverty and ignorance and chart their own course in the world. From one-room schoolhouses to modern campuses. As education demand surged, so did the need for physical spaces. One-room schoolhouses gave way to larger, purpose-built schools. The architecture of education evolved with changing values. Rigid rows of desks became flexible learning spaces. Chalkboards were joined by maps, globes, and technology. Universities expanded into sprawling campuses, libraries grew, and labs became hubs of innovation. Architects, builders, administrators, and janitors shaped our educational landscape. The standardization of education, curriculum development, testing, and the quest for quality. With mass education came the need for standardization. How do you ensure consistency and quality across millions? The answer was standardized curriculum and testing. Standardized tests have their flaws, but also merits. They attempt to level the playing field, providing a common yardstick. The quest for quality in education continues, a journey of refinement and innovation. Access and equity, the ongoing struggle for educational opportunity for all. The 20th century saw progress in education, but inequality persisted. Quality education often depended on postcode, socio-economic background, race, and gender. The civil rights struggle included the fight for educational access. Brown versus Board of Education in 1954 was a major victory for racial justice. Globally, education is a fundamental human right. Despite progress, the gap between aspiration and reality remains. The fight for educational equity continues for every child's potential. The digital revolution's impact on education. Challenges and opportunities in the information age. Now, as we entered the latter half of the 20th century, a new revolution was brewing, one that would fundamentally reshape the educational landscape, the digital revolution. The advent of personal computers, followed by the internet and the ubiquitous smartphone, ushered in an era of unprecedented access to information and connectivity. Suddenly, the walls of the traditional classroom seemed to dissolve as students could access a world of knowledge at their fingertips. Online courses, virtual libraries, educational apps, the possibilities seemed endless. But this rapid technological advancement also brought with it new challenges. The digital divide, the gap between those with access to technology and those without, threatened to exacerbate existing inequalities in education. The skills required to navigate this new digital landscape, from coding to critical thinking in an age of misinformation, became increasingly essential. And let's not forget the impact on educators themselves. Teachers, once the gatekeepers of knowledge, now found themselves navigating a world where information was abundant and easily accessible. Their role was evolving, from dispenser of facts to facilitator of learning, from lecturer to mentor. The evolving needs of the 21st century workplace. Skills gap, automation, and the demand for lifelong learning. And as the digital revolution reshaped education, it also transformed the world of work. The job market, once a relatively stable landscape, became a churning sea of change. Globalization, automation, and the rise of the knowledge economy created a demand for new skills while rendering others obsolete. The skills gap, my friends, became a growing concern. Employers struggled to find candidates with the right blend of technical skills, critical thinking abilities, and adaptability. The days of learning a trade and sticking with it for life were fading fast. Lifelong learning, the ability to adapt and acquire new skills throughout one's career, became the new mantra. But this rapid transformation of the workplace also created opportunities. New industries emerged, fueled by technological innovation. Entrepreneurship flourished as individuals with bright ideas and digital savvy could launch global businesses from their garages. The gig economy, for all its challenges, provided flexibility and new avenues for income generation. The 21st century workplace, my friends, demands agility, adaptability, and a thirst for knowledge. It demands individuals who are not afraid to embrace change, to learn new skills, and to chart their own course in a world where the only constant is change itself. Online schooling, bridging the gap, preparing students for the future of work. And this, my friends, is where online schooling comes into its own. No longer a niche experiment, online education has emerged as a powerful force, bridging the gap between the evolving needs of the workplace and the limitations of traditional education systems. The flexibility of online learning allows individuals to upskill or reskill while juggling work and family commitments. The personalized learning experience offered by many online platforms caters to different learning styles and paces, making education more accessible and engaging. And the global reach of online education connects students and educators across continents, fostering cross-cultural understanding and collaboration. Now, I'm not suggesting that online schooling is a panacea. It has its challenges, from ensuring quality control to addressing issues of digital equity. But its potential is undeniable. By embracing technology, fostering self-directed learning, and providing access to a global marketplace of knowledge and skills, online schooling is equipping individuals with the tools they need to thrive in the 21st century workplace. It's about empowering individuals to become lifelong learners, to adapt to the ever-changing demands of the job market, and to chart their own course in a world of unprecedented opportunity and uncertainty. Embracing change, cultivating adaptability, and charting a course in uncharted waters. So, where do we go from here? The future holds unknown opportunities. The only constant is change. The jobs of tomorrow may not exist today. Embrace the unknown, cultivate adaptability. The future belongs to the curious and the innovators. Create a better future for humanity. The shifting sands, traditional jobs in the age of automation. The job market, my friends, a landscape once as familiar and predictable as the changing seasons. But just as technology has upended our lives in countless ways, so too has it shaken the very foundations of the workplace. Those traditional jobs, the ones that once seemed as sturdy and reliable as a blacksmith's anvil, are now shifting, evolving, and in some cases vanishing altogether. Remember the factory floors, those hives of activity where generations toiled, their days marked by the rhythmic hum of machinery. The assembly lines, once a symbol of industrial might, are now increasingly populated not by human hands, but by robotic arms. Tireless and precise, their movements orchestrated by algorithms rather than foremen. And it's not just manual labor that's being transformed, my friends. Those white-collar jobs, the ones that once promised stability and a comfortable retirement, are also feeling the tremors of change. Software programs now process data with a speed and accuracy that would make a roomful of accountants weep into their spreadsheets. But before we succumb to despair, let's remember that history is replete with examples of industries and professions that have come and gone, their demise often paving the way for new and unexpected opportunities. The key, my friends, is to adapt, to evolve, and to embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. The rise of the machines, automation's impact on the job market, fear versus opportunity. Now, the rise of automation, like any disruptive force, has sparked its fair share of anxieties. Headlines scream about robots stealing our jobs, about mass unemployment, about a future where humans are rendered obsolete by their own creations. And yes, my friends, there's no denying that automation will displace some jobs, just as the automobile displaced the horse-drawn carriage. But fear not, for history also teaches us that technological advancements, while disruptive, often create more opportunities than they destroy. The automobile, after all, didn't just eliminate jobs, it created an entire industry, from manufacturing and repair to road construction and tourism. The key, my friends, is to focus not on the jobs that are being automated, but on the skills that will be needed in this new landscape. Automation, while adept at performing repetitive tasks, is still in its infancy when it comes to creativity, critical thinking, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence, the very skills that make us uniquely human. So, rather than fearing the rise of the machines, let us embrace the opportunities they present. Let us use this moment to upskill, to retrain, and to prepare ourselves for a future where human ingenuity, augmented by technology, will be more valuable than ever before. The need for new skills. Navigating the digital landscape, critical thinking in the age of information overload. In this age of automation and AI, the question is what unique value you bring. What sets you apart from algorithms and automated processes? Navigating the digital world with confidence and discernment is essential. We are bombarded with information, a cacophony of voices vying for our attention. The ability to filter through this noise and identify credible sources is crucial. It's about thinking critically about what we consume. The gig economy, freelancing, remote work, and the changing nature of employment. Now, as the traditional workplace continues to evolve, a new paradigm is emerging, one that challenges the very notion of a 9-to-5 job and a steady paycheck. The gig economy, my friends, is upon us, a world of freelance work, contract-based employment, and remote work opportunities that span the globe. For some, this new world of work is a source of anxiety, a precarious existence marked by uncertainty and a lack of benefits. And yes, my friends, there are legitimate concerns about job security, income stability, and access to healthcare in the gig economy. But for others, the gig economy represents freedom, flexibility, and the opportunity to be their own boss. It allows individuals to pursue their passions, to set their own hours, and to work from anywhere with an internet connection. The rise of online platforms connecting freelancers with clients has lowered the barriers to entry for many, allowing individuals with specialized skills to market their services to a global audience. Now, the gig economy is not without its challenges, but it's a clear indication that the world of work is changing, and those who can adapt, embrace new technologies, and cultivate an entrepreneurial spirit will be well positioned to thrive. The entrepreneurial spirit. Online platforms empowering a new generation of business owners. And speaking of entrepreneurship, my friends, the digital revolution has unleashed a wave of innovation and creativity, empowering individuals to launch their own businesses with unprecedented ease. Online platforms have democratized commerce, providing tools and resources that were once the exclusive domain of large corporations. Remember the days when starting a business required significant upfront capital, a brick-and-mortar storefront, and an army of employees? Well, those days are gone, my friends. Today, anyone with an internet connection and a good idea can launch an online store, create and sell digital products, or offer their services to a global audience. The barriers to entry have crumbled, paving the way for a new generation of entrepreneurs driven by passion, innovation, and a desire to chart their own course. Online marketplaces connect buyers and sellers from all corners of the globe, while social media platforms provide powerful tools for marketing and building a loyal following. The entrepreneurial spirit, once confined to a select few, is now within reach of anyone with the drive, determination, and digital savvy to seize the opportunities of the 21st century. The global village takes shape. International collaboration, remote teams, and the globalized workforce. And as the digital revolution continues to blur geographical boundaries, the workplace is becoming increasingly globalized. Remember the days when working for a company in another country was the exception, not the rule? Well, my friends, those days are fading fast. The rise of remote work, coupled with the ease of communication across borders, has created a global talent pool, allowing companies to assemble teams with the best and brightest minds, regardless of their physical location. This shift towards a globalized workforce presents both challenges and opportunities. On the one hand, it requires individuals to develop cross-cultural communication skills, to navigate different time zones, and to adapt to varying work styles. On the other hand, it exposes individuals to new perspectives, fosters innovation through diversity, and creates opportunities for personal and professional growth. The global village, once a utopian vision, is rapidly becoming a reality, my friends. And those who embrace this interconnected world, who are willing to learn from other cultures and to collaborate across borders, will be well positioned to thrive in the 21st century workplace. Education for a borderless world. Online schooling's role in preparing students for global citizenship. And this, my friends, is where online schooling plays a pivotal role. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, where the workplace transcends geographical boundaries, education must prepare students not just for jobs, but for global citizenship. Online schooling, by its very nature, is borderless. It connects students from all corners of the globe, fostering cross-cultural understanding and promoting collaboration across differences. It exposes students to diverse perspectives, challenges their assumptions, and broadens their horizons. Imagine, my friends, a world where students in rural India can collaborate with their peers in London or Tokyo on a science project, where language barriers are broken down by real-time translation tools, where cultural exchange is not just a chapter in a textbook, but a lived experience. This is the promise of online schooling, my friends. It's about preparing students not just for the jobs of tomorrow, but for the challenges and opportunities of a world where collaboration, empathy, and a global perspective will be more important than ever before. Thriving in the age of disruption. Adaptability, resilience, and the importance of a growth mindset. So, my friends, as we navigate this rapidly changing landscape, as traditional jobs evolve and new opportunities emerge, one thing is clear. Adaptability is no longer a desirable trait, it's a survival skill. The jobs of the future may require skills that haven't even been invented yet. The industries that will drive the economy of tomorrow may still be in their infancy. The only way to thrive in this age of disruption is to embrace change, to become lifelong learners, and to cultivate a growth mindset. Resilience, my friends, will be our most valuable asset. The ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt to new situations, to learn from our mistakes. These are the qualities that will set us apart in a world where the only constant is change. And let's not forget the power of community, my friends. We are not alone in this journey. By supporting each other, by sharing our knowledge and experiences, by embracing collaboration over competition, we can navigate the challenges and opportunities of this new world together. The double-edged sword. Navigating the benefits and challenges of online education. Now, my friends, as we delve deeper into the realm of online schooling, it's important to approach this brave new world with a discerning eye. Like any powerful tool, online education is a double-edged sword, offering a tantalizing array of benefits while presenting its own unique set of challenges. It's not a magic bullet, a one-size-fits-all solution to the shortcomings of traditional education. Nor is it a silver bullet that will magically eradicate the inequalities and complexities of our world. But to dismiss it as a passing fad, a pale imitation of the real thing, would be a grave mistake. Online schooling, at its best, has the potential to democratize knowledge, to break down barriers of geography and circumstance, to empower individuals to take control of their own learning journeys. But to harness its transformative power, we must approach it with a clear-eyed understanding of both its strengths and its weaknesses. So, let us don our thinking caps, my friends, and embark on a balanced exploration of the benefits and challenges of online education, separating hype from reality and identifying the key factors that contribute to its success. A feast for the mind. The allure of unlimited access to knowledge and diverse learning resources. Online education offers a sheer abundance of resources. Imagine a library so vast, it dwarfs even Alexandria. This is the promise of the digital age, unlimited access to knowledge. From expert-taught courses to virtual museum tours, learning is endless. And often these resources are available at a fraction of the cost. Online education empowers lifelong learning, expanding horizons beyond traditional classrooms. Time and tide wait for no student. Flexibility and personalization in the online learning environment. Online schooling offers asynchronous learning and on-demand access to materials. Learn at your own pace, revisit challenging concepts, and tailor your study schedule. Adaptive learning platforms track progress and personalize the curriculum. This allows students to focus on challenging areas and receive individualized support. Now, I know what you're thinking, my friends. All this talk of digital libraries and personalized learning paths sounds awfully isolating, doesn't it? Where's the camaraderie of the classroom? The shared struggles and triumphs, the late-night study sessions fueled by coffee and a sense of shared purpose? Well, fear not, my friends, for online education is not the solitary pursuit some might imagine it to be. In fact, many online learning platforms have become quite adept at fostering a sense of community among their students, albeit in a virtual space. Online forums, live video conferences, and collaborative projects allow students to connect with their peers, to share ideas, to debate concepts, and to support each other through the inevitable challenges of the learning journey. These virtual water coolers, as I like to call them, provide a space for students to build relationships, to learn from each other, and to create a sense of belonging even when they're miles apart. And let's not forget the power of social media, my friends. Many online learning communities extend beyond the virtual classroom, connecting students through social media platforms, organizing online study groups, and even facilitating in-person meetups for those who crave a bit of face-to-face interaction. So, while the online learning environment may look different from the traditional classroom, it's far from a solitary endeavor. Now, for all its advantages, online education is not without its challenges. The lack of face-to-face interaction, while manageable for some, can be a significant hurdle for others. The isolation, the lack of structure, the constant distractions of the digital world, these can all take a toll on motivation and make it difficult for some students to stay on track. And let's be honest, my friends, self-discipline is not everyone's strong suit. Procrastination, that insidious beast, can rear its ugly head with alarming ease when the allure of social media, video games, or simply the comforts of one's own home are just a click away. This is where the human touch becomes so crucial, my friends. Online education, at its best, is not just about delivering content, it's about providing support, guidance, and mentorship. Effective online instructors understand the importance of building relationships with their students, of providing regular feedback, of creating a sense of accountability and community. Many online learning platforms offer virtual office hours, where students can connect with their instructors one-on-one, ask questions, and receive personalized guidance. Others have implemented peer-to-peer mentoring programs, pairing more experienced students with those who are new to the online learning environment. The key, my friends, is to recognize that while technology can facilitate learning, it cannot replace the human connection that is so essential for motivation, engagement, and ultimately success. And so, my friends, we stand at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in history where the old ways of working are rapidly giving way to the new. The job market, once a relatively predictable landscape, is now a dynamic, ever-evolving ecosystem shaped by technological advancements, globalization, and a relentless thirst for innovation. The traditional career path, that well-trodden road from graduation to retirement, is no longer the only game in town, or even the most desirable one for many. But this is not a time for fear or uncertainty, my friends. It's a time for excitement, for embracing the unknown with a spirit of adventure and a thirst for knowledge. The future of work, while undoubtedly different from the past, is brimming with opportunities for those who are prepared to adapt, to learn new skills, and to chart their own course. The key, my friends, is to approach this new landscape not with trepidation, but with confidence, vision, and a willingness to embrace the possibilities that abound. The world is changing, my friends, and we have the power to shape that change. Let us embrace the future of work, not as a threat, but as a challenge, an invitation to reimagine what's possible and to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Now, you might be wondering, my friends, what specific skills will be most valuable in this brave new world of work? Well, the truth is, the crystal ball is a bit murky on the specifics. The jobs of tomorrow may require skills that haven't even been invented yet. Industries that will drive the economy of the future may still be in their infancy. However, amidst this uncertainty, one thing is abundantly clear. The ability to adapt, to learn new skills quickly, and to embrace change will be paramount. Gone are the days when one could learn a trade and coast on that knowledge for a lifetime. The 21st century workplace demands individuals who are agile, resourceful, and comfortable navigating ambiguity. Creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills will be highly sought after, as will the ability to communicate effectively, to collaborate across cultures, and to think systematically. And of course, my friends, we cannot forget the importance of digital literacy, the ability to navigate the digital world with confidence, to critically evaluate information, to leverage technology effectively. These are no longer optional skills, but essential prerequisites for success in virtually every field. The good news, my friends, is that these skills can be learned and honed. The power of online schooling, unlocking potential, expanding horizons, and shaping destiny. And this, my friends, is where online schooling steps onto the stage, not as a replacement for traditional education, but as a powerful complement, a tool for empowerment and transformation. Online schooling, with its flexibility, its vast array of resources, and its ability to personalize the learning experience, offers a pathway for individuals to acquire these essential skills and to chart their own course in the 21st century workplace. Whether you're a recent graduate seeking to gain a competitive edge, a working professional looking to upskill or reskill, or simply someone with a thirst for knowledge and a desire to explore new horizons, online schooling has something to offer. It allows you to learn at your own pace, on your own schedule, and from anywhere with an internet connection. It gives you access to a global network of educators, experts, and fellow learners, fostering collaboration, cross-cultural understanding, and a sense of community that extends far beyond geographical boundaries. Online schooling, my friends, is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about unlocking potential, expanding horizons, and shaping one's own destiny. It's about embracing lifelong learning as a journey of discovery, growth, and fulfillment. A call to action. Embrace lifelong learning, chart your own course, and seize the opportunities that abound. So, my friends, as we conclude our exploration of online schooling and its impact on the future of work, let us not forget that the future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create. The choices we make today, the skills we cultivate, the paths we choose to explore. These will determine the course of our lives and the shape of the world we leave behind. Let us embrace lifelong learning, not as a chore or an obligation, but as an adventure, a journey of discovery and growth. Let us be bold in our aspirations, courageous in our pursuits, and unwavering in our commitment to creating a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. The world is waiting, my friends. The opportunities are limitless. The only question is, what will you do with the time you have? Mchoga, Coaching and Consulting, your ally in the journey to career excellence. Now, my friends, I understand that navigating the ever-evolving landscape of education and career choices can feel daunting. That's where we, at Mchoga Coaching and Consulting, come in. We are your trusted allies in the journey to career excellence, providing personalized guidance, support, and resources to help you unlock your full potential and achieve your professional goals. Our team of experienced career coach and consultants understands the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century workplace. We'll work with you one-on-one to identify your strengths, clarify your values, and develop a personalized career roadmap that aligns with your aspirations. Whether you're just starting out, looking to make a career transition, or seeking to advance in your current field, we're here to guide you every step of the way. We offer a range of services, including resume and cover letter writing, interview skills training, networking strategies, and personalized career coaching. The future awaits. A final thought. So, my friends, take that first step. Embrace the future with confidence. Invest in yourself, in your education, and in your dreams. The future awaits, and it is yours to shape. As the great Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.